I just wanted to post a brief follow-up to a short I posted yesterday called Pigeon is not a warm-up. It was just a short, so it was mainly just a demo of Pigeon, but I just wanted to follow up to comment on how you do warm-up for Pigeon. So the first way to get warmed up for Pigeon is to do your general warm-ups. So your standing work, your Surya Namaskar, and your squats to get your hip joints really warmed up. Because the issue with Pigeon, and I used to have a teacher back in the day who would become absolutely unglued if he walked in the room before class and people were doing Pigeon as a warm-up before class even started. And the reason that he came unglued is because he was worried about our knees. And so the knee is a simple hinge joint. It only works in one plane of movement, whereas the hip joint is a ball and socket. So the hip joint has rotational capability. Okay, it doesn't rotate 360 degrees, but it rotates. The knee doesn't rotate, and you don't want your knee to rotate because your ligaments will be getting stretched out. This knee is a very vulnerable joint in yoga. So another teacher used to say that if your hips aren't warmed up, that the knee will pay toll. So we don't want our knees paying any tolls. We want our knees to be healthy and happy for a long time and have a happy, healthy yoga practice. So the warm-up for Pigeon is, first I'm just going to show, if you're just tuning in, this is what people call Pigeon. It's the legs, it's the leg position for a much harder, much more advanced back-bending posture called Ekapadarajkapotasana, which I will show in another video. So I've warmed up a bit, warmed up enough to make this video. But this is essentially what people refer to as Pigeon. Okay? It has a forward bending and a backward bending variation that I showed in my short. But before you want to get yourself in Pigeon, you see how this hip, these rotators have to stretch, they have to work. And the knee then can just be in its back and forth plane of movement. So how you get warmed up is another posture known as figure 4, or some people call it through the hole stretch, because you go through the hole. Okay? So to do this figure 4, or the through the hole, is both feet are standing. You simply cross your foot over. You do not allow this knee to come in towards your shoulder. Okay? You won't press that knee away. Okay? Because if it comes into the shoulder and you hug this in, it's nothing going to happen here. So you press this open, you reach through the hole, under, and you grab the knee and you hug it into your chest. Okay? If you're very flexible, you can take it up into this. Okay? And of course you do both sides. Now, some people aren't even going to be able to get themselves into this position. And if that's you, then you're not ready to go anywhere near Pigeon. Because this is just essentially Pigeon, but it's non-weight bearing. This is why this is safe. This is why this is a preparation for Pigeon, because it's non-weight bearing. Pigeon, when you're sitting, it's weight bearing, so there's going to be more stress going on to you. So if even that is too much for you, then nothing wrong. You just want to start slow. So you start with a chair. So you just have your feet on a chair. You could also just put your feet on the wall. And then you just cross that foot over. Okay, again, if this knee wants to sneak up by the shoulder, don't let it. Press it away. But the goal is to feel the stretch in this group of muscles called the deep lateral hip rotators, of which there are 6. And it's often, and the reason that people were posting about Pigeon is because it's this group of muscles that needs to be stretched out, that if they're tight, you can get low back pain, sciatic pain, different things like that. So it was in that context that I believe that I saw all the Pigeon videos. It was on the prevention or treatment of sciatica theme. Okay, so once you're comfortable doing this figure 4, then you're ready to work your pigeon. So how I showed in my short, I work from downward facing dog. And then you just step your foot in. So if you feel any pain, you should not feel anything in your knee when you do this. If you do, you're not ready. You're not ready to do pigeon yet. Okay? When you're doing your yoga, you don't ever want to tolerate pain in a joint. You want to be feeling the intensity of any posture, the intensity of the stretch. You want to be feeling in the belly of the muscle. Okay? And in this case, it's the deep bladder lip rotators. So once you're in your pigeon, you have the option to sustain the posture, or you can take it into a forward bend. And taking it into the forward bend is a very much deeper journey into the cellular layers of your deep lateral rotators. Okay, the other option, you can take it into a back bend, which I did show in my short. And then I also showed the kind of cheat variation of the full pose, Ekapadarajkapotasana. I'm not going to show that today. I'm going to make that in a separate video. But I'm just mainly doing this as a follow-up so you can get the idea of what Pigeon's about and how to work into it. Forward bend. Back bend. And then into the intermediary, that's what I would call the intermediary phase before you go to the full Ekapadarajkapotasana. So when you're done with Pigeon, you're going to want to go into a symmetrical posture. Because in Pigeon, it's known as an asymmetrical pose. That means one side of the body is doing something different than the other side of the body. So after all asymmetrical poses, you want to bring yourself into a symmetrical pose, and this will bring your mind back into stability, and it will bring your body back into balance. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments, please put those below.